Happy Sunday, friends. So we have another cook and chat for you to hopefully enjoy today. I'm going to be making a sweet treat. It looks like the first recipe I ever added to my recipes list on Facebook. So I don't know why I've waited this long to make it, because it really does sound good, and it sounds pretty simple. Shouldn't take very long. It's a beautiful day here in Southlake, Texas today. Thanks for those of you who are watching live. Thanks to those who will watch later today after the stream ends. And I hope you'll give this a try and let me know what you think. So this is crescent rolled cheesecake, or cheesecake crescent rolls. I don't remember what the original person called it. I will again put the recipe and directions in the description once the stream ends today. And we're going to be trying out the remote camera thing that I talked about on Friday's live stream. So let me be getting that set up while we're talking today. That means I need to go to a web page, to the Video Ninja to get my link. I didn't think to set that up. I was thinking it would be, have been the same link every time. Maybe there's some place I have to save it. Okay, let's see if that did it. Join with the camera. And I'm going to apologize in advance if there's feedback, because there was feedback when I tested this the other day. Okay, why didn't it? Hang on, I don't think I'm in the right room. Let's try that again. So I know a lot of you have probably already seen. Video Ninja. Oh, that's not what I need. I need to go back here and set up a new room. Go back. Go back. It had that. It did have that room saved. I didn't remember to put my microphone in the drawer of the. Oh, that's not what I want. What is that? So I know a lot of you have seen that there was this huge explosion on the sun. All right, we're going to change the name of this. Let's try this. And now let's type that address in here. I feel like the older I get, either my fingers are getting bigger or my eyes are getting worse, or let's try this. Underscore ranch. See if that did it. Okay, there it is. So now let me copy this, because I have to put this in here. I'm going to try adding this to this scene first. Uh-oh, but what is that? Maybe I don't want that there. Bear with me. Okay, I have to put this address in here. All right. I'm just turning that away so that maybe we don't get the feedback. Okay, I'm going to go to the kitchen. I'm trying to decide if there was an echo. And we're going to get started. So, buckle up.
All right, so I'm going to put this on my little tripod. Oh, and look, so Serena got some little suspenders to hold her diaper on. Hey, Serena, say hi. Say hi. Okay. My oven is already preheated. I don't know if I'm in the frame or not. I have it upside down. It doesn't look upside down here. Okay, let me flip this around and we'll see what happens. So give it a few seconds because it's got some lag and tell me if that fixed it. And if it didn't, then I'm going to go back over to the computer and... Did it flip it around now? Okay, that's Richard over there monitoring from the kitchen table, the dining room table. Now it's okay? Okay, so... Oh, I need my other phone. Okay. So we need... I'm doing a half a recipe because we never even finished all of that. Can you hear me out there? We never even finished all of that cinnamon roll thing that I made. I don't have, believe it or not, I don't have an 8. Okay. That's so loud. I don't even have an 8x8 dish. I mean, the one I have is old and scratched up and rusted. It's a metal one. Oh my goodness, where's the peeling? So I'm only going to do a recipe of this, and it's going to be in this oblong pan, which should still work. And the recipe doesn't say to grease or butter the dish, but I'm going to butter the dish. I don't think it'll hurt. I'm going to be using butter in another part of the recipe, so it's not like the butter isn't. Kobe's here visiting, and I guess he wanted to come see what I was making because he was just standing here supervising. So there's a little bit of butter there. And we're going to take, these are, again, I just bought the generic Walmart brand crescent rolls. I hope y'all can see that. I hope this is in the frame. We need half of them in the bottom. So we're going to unroll this. And try to sort of get it into the shape of this dish. It's really sticky. It is very pleasant here today, but a little on the warm side, and it's going to feel a little warmer, I'm sure, because I'll have the oven going. I'm just trying to get this unrolled. If we have anyone watching and you're in the chat, I'm sorry that I can't see you. And then we're going to spread this out into the bottom of the pan. Let me see. There, let's do that. Spread this out into the bottom of the pan. I think this only has cheesecake in the title because you use cream cheese in it. Because it doesn't have egg. I think this pan will work. Right. Got that now. Get a bowl. My cream cheese has been sitting out softening probably since about 10 o'clock this morning. It'd be much harder to work with it if it wasn't nice and soft. No, baby, that's not for you. No, baby, that's not for you, honey. So to this cream cheese, we're going to add, some vanilla. So the full recipe calls for a teaspoon and a half of vanilla, so I'm going to just put a little less than a teaspoon. What left? Right there? I did slide it to my left. Is that where you meant? Okay, yeah, it's in the frame now. And, oops. No, baby. He was upset, y'all, because I went through the door to go to the pantry to get my powdered sugar. I forgot to get the powdered sugar out. He wanted to see his cat. That's our little guest. Oops. That was our little guest, 𝐂𝐫𝐞𝐞. So a half a cup of powdered sugar. Use a fork and try to get this blended with a fork because the mixture will be way too noisy. And this is all going to melt together anyway as it cooks, so I don't know that it matters that it's completely blended. But if I wasn't doing a live stream, I would have just whipped out the mixture right quick. So we'll do this. Get out my wire whisk. Yeah, that cream cheese is nice and soft. Okay, that's it. And we're going to spread this on top of the layer of crescent roll dough. It's too hot to set my phone on there. What's happening? Oh, goodness gracious. Give myself some more room here. I didn't let Serena sleep in that, or I didn't make Serena sleep in that suspender thing. And sure enough, woke up this morning, she was out of that diaper. And it still was fastened, so she's just shimmying her way out somehow. All right, now, over the top of this, we're going to put the other half of the crescent roll dough. I'll have to figure out how to get this spread since I can't really press down on it. This may be the one disadvantage to buying the generic here, because these did not, usually when we buy the Pillsbury kind, they unroll really easily. And it wasn't that they were sitting out. I took these out of the refrigerator just as I started building this dish. So I'm going to have to play with this. The stove is really sticky. It is warm in here and it is kind of humid, so maybe that's what it is. Separate these. Get this kind of flattened out. I don't think it much matters if it's perfect. As my mom used to say, you're going to chew it up and swallow it anyway, so it's going to look a lot worse in your stomach. That should work right there. Some butter. It melts a little over a tablespoon of butter. Whole recipe. Let's see. Oh, hang on. This is a stick of butter. Is a half a cup, and it calls for a quarter cup to do the full recipe, which would be so a quarter cup would be 4 sticks of butter, right? I mean, 4 tablespoons of butter. If 8 tablespoons of butter is half a cup, 4 tablespoons of butter is a quarter cup, so 2 tablespoons of butter will be half that. I kind of think this is not something you can mess up. It doesn't say how much sugar or cinnamon to use, so you can flavor it up to your liking. I have a cinnamon toast thing made with crescent rolls. Ooh, that's hot. This is hot. That's not good. So I'm going to start with, I've got a little less than a quarter cup of sugar here. I guess you could use like monk fruit sweetener, the granulated monk fruit sweetener. When I make cinnamon toast, I do tend to use a lot of sugar and cinnamon. A little more than that. You guys are probably looking at that thinking, oh my gosh, that's so much sugar. And some cinnamon, just some generic cinnamon. It does say sprinkle generously with cinnamon and sugar. So maybe that quarter cup wasn't so wacky after all. Again, my oven has been preheating to 350 degrees. I expect that to rise. It says you can drizzle it with a little honey if you like, but I'm not going to do that. Right, into the oven it's going to go for 20 to 30 minutes. We'll do 25. Okay. And now let me get back to the, well, I got to clean up. Hang on, I got to clean up. Y'all are going to have to watch me clean up. I don't have a crew. Excuse you. Richard forgets that I'm on camera a lot of times. I feel like I have butter all over my hands. Back in the refrigerator with the butter. Back to the. I gotta wash my hands.
Hopefully no one can hold me back. Okay,
I'm gonna
come out of here now. And come
come
back
back
here.
here. Um,
I'm
gonna get out of this.
Okay. Okay. My little tripod is loose for some reason. I hope y'all can hear me. I just snapped that right off of there. I still dream of having like good equipment and so this is loose right here. This little thing was wobbling. Okay, somehow I managed to turn this phone off. I don't know how. Or restart it or something. Okay, we're going to get that back on the charger. See if I can get this tighter. Snapped it right off again. Hey, y'all check out yesterday's short. Let me know if you already knew about that. That was a very novel thing I learned about. Oh, This isn't in there. Okay. Now let's see why that's loose. Thought it had something to do with this. Yeah, it does. Okay, that should be nice and tight now. Okay, so that'll be ready for when we go take that out of the oven. Ugh. Oops. But it was a fun, hey Connie, I wasn't at the computer to see if there was anyone here chatting with us. Or I'm going to leave that on, and I should be able to just go back to that other scene with the phone once it's time for the phone. So we'll all be listening for the timer on the oven to go off. So yesterday's short, check that out and let me know what you think. When I first learned about it, obviously I thought, oh, that can't be real. That can't be legit. It is. I've done it. I tried it. So I recorded it and I made a short out of it. And it's very clever and it's very fun. So if you are looking for a quick 70s music fix, try that out. You'll have to just go look at the short to see what I'm talking about. I'm not going to give it away by telling you what it is here in the stream. But let's see. What else? Oh, did you watch that short, Connie? Did you try that thing out? What else is happening here? The dogs are kind of zonked from having some good playtime outside today because it's very, very nice. I'm really disappointed to report that I used to use the Weather Channel app. The Weather Channel had an app, and that app included a radar, and more than anything else in that app, that's what I would look at when I was trying to plan for, outdoor activities, or if we were going to have dogs visiting, so that I would know if I needed to have a lot of indoor brain games and stuff to do because the weather was expected to be bad. They dropped the radar unless you pay the $30 a year for the app. And I really don't like having to pay for apps, not when there are hundreds of other apps that all do the same thing that are free. So I have just a radar app now. But see, it doesn't then give you like the forecast unless I just haven't figured out where to go to get it. But let me show you what it looks like. So, I mean, it's a nice radar. Okay, so see? Nothing stormy really in our immediate area here right now. It doesn't go out that far, but neither did the Weather Channel app. I think it maybe had like a 6-hour loop on it. I chatted by text with my friend Southern Mama Beth. She has a channel here on YouTube. You guys should check her out because I know she's in the southeast part of the United States, and I know that they've been hit with storms. Everything that's coming through here is going that direction. It seems like for a long time that's been how it goes, and I know that's pretty typical just because of how the jet stream works and the rotation of the earth and all that. So she said, they have storms, but she's lived on the East Coast, I think, long enough to know now there's nothing you can do about it. So you're going to have to just prepare and be informed and be weather aware. But I chatted with her a little bit this morning because she texted to ask about Serena. She wanted to know how Serena was doing. And y'all, she really is doing okay, given her circumstances. I'm just, it's a little bit frightening to see what feels like a very rapid progression of deterioration. Physically, again, she's still very, I would call it spirited. Some people might call that bratty, and kind of ornery, and she really still tries to rule the house and corrects the dogs when they're getting rowdy and stuff like that. But physically, nerve deterioration, sensation, that has all really gone downhill. It just seems like it's really been fast. And I think that's the nature of degenerative myelopathy. You know, they can maybe be fine for a while, and then it really does start going downhill really fast. So I've considered looking for either a wheelchair for her, because I know that's coming at some point, just watching how much weaker her back end is. I know at some point she's either going to have to drag herself around, which I don't want to have to watch her do, or I just don't know how easy it is for a dog her age to learn to use a wheelchair. Or maybe the sensation has gone so much that she won't know. She can still climb up on the couch, and it's amazing to watch how her upper body, her front legs are still very strong, because you can watch her just pulling herself up onto the couch. Her back legs move, they're trying to help, but she can't get much traction with them because there's just not a lot of sensation there, and there's not a lot of strength there. So maybe she wouldn't be stressed out by a wheelchair. So either that, or I know there's lots of slings that you can buy. I just want her to have a little more independence than that. You know, I want her to be able to, if she wants to go outside and go sniff around and, you know, move around in the backyard, I want her to be able to do that on her own. But we've just got some bridges we'll have to cross when we get to them. But I thought that was really sweet for Southern Mama to check in on her today. I thought we were going to be helping with some neighbor dogs today, because they thought they were going to be away from home most of the day, but they're staying in. So I can't show y'all those, but they recently adopted two are Huskies, Siberian Huskies. The third one, I think, is part Husky, but I haven't met that one yet. Have I met that one? No, I've only met the first two that they adopted, because they adopted the third one just before they left to go out of town again a couple weeks ago. So we've only seen it in the yard over there when we look out the front door, because they're right across the street from us. So we don't get to tend to them. But again, Kobe's here. Come here, Kobe. Come say hi to the people on the computer. Come here. Come say hi. Come say hi. Come here. This is Kobe, y'all. Kobe is a Shepsky, a German Shepherd Husky mix. And these boys, they are just best friends. And Kobe loves the cats. The minute he walks in our house, every time he comes, he goes right to the door that leads out of the kitchen into the east side of the house, because that's where the cats stay when we've got dog visitors, or when we have a dog that's a little too interested in the cats. He does well with them, but I knew I was going to have stuff to work on today, and so I just don't want to have to supervise and monitor things when I know I'm already going to be working on doing the stream. So, but he's a sweet boy. And even though we have cut back on our regular boarding, he's on the list of dogs that we will continue to babysit, because he's a good boy and he gets along with everyone. And Gucci will still be here, like she's been for, it'll be 3 years in October that she's been staying with us. And then if you guys remember Harley, she's probably 12 this year, the cream colored lab senior girl. She's still, I mean, she was at top of the list of dogs that even if we stopped boarding, for the most part, she would still be welcome here anytime she needs to be here. She's like one of my favorite visiting dogs ever. So we've still got our little handful of dogs that are going to still spend a little bit of time with us. I just didn't want it to be so full-time that I cannot be present for Serena for however much longer she has with us, because, you know, I can see the signs, and we have not been through degenerative myelopathy with any of our shepherds before. Some other common shepherd things, but I just don't want to regret, you know, if the time comes and she's not with us anymore, I don't want to feel guilty about how, you know, her last days or weeks, I couldn't even talk to her because I was so busy with other dogs. So I'm still busy, but I don't think I'm going to be quite as busy now as I was before. So there's that. Hey, Connie, yes, your dog Annie. We were thinking of a dog wheelchair a year before she passed. Annie lived to the age of 14 and a half years old. Her breed is called 𝐂𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐜, a Hungarian guard dog. Ooh, I'll have to look that up. That's a new breed for me. Yeah, Serena will be 13 sometime this fall. That's a long time for a big dog, a long time for a German Shepherd dog. And I do see, or I see some signs that maybe she's lost her hearing or part of her hearing. Well, I know she hasn't lost all of her hearing because I was in the duck yard working sometime yesterday, and she was in the backyard, and I called her name, and she did look over to me. But then there are a lot of times when she'll be sitting or laying down somewhere, you know, in a common area, and you walk past her and she's startled. And to me, that means she didn't hear, you know, the sound of footsteps, or, you know, if I'm carrying something, whatever crinkly noises or other sounds that you can tell that the dog hears those kind of sounds. So I feel like she's getting I mean, it's such a brief thing. She's still with it enough then that as soon as she stops her little shudder, then she realizes, oh, it's just you. But I think she might be losing her hearing. Seems like she can still see okay, so that's good. I know our husky grand dog, she lived to be about 14 and a half, which is a long time for a husky. And toward the end with her, again, she couldn't see. She had lost her vision, though, a long time before that. She couldn't see, and I don't remember thinking that she couldn't hear, but she had adapted so beautifully to not being able to see that I almost felt like she processed vibrations and heat, you know, things like that that would indicate that somebody was coming near or that someone was about to pass her, because she never did act like I mean, in the beginning she did, but she adapted to it so well that even when she really couldn't see at all, you wouldn't know it, except that, you know, if you were right in front of her waving something or showing her the toy that she loved, she wouldn't know till you touched it to her mouth. So it's hard, but I would not trade the time I've had to spend with my dogs, even knowing how awful it feels when they leave us. So there's that. That's really in the back of my mind, but it's moving a little closer to the front of my mind right now. I'm going to put a little PSA, do a little PSA here for you. Now I've posted on my Facebook about this before, but I saw a public figure. He's a meteorologist somewhere, but I wasn't familiar with his name. But he posted a great thing about AI. I enjoy AI. I know it is helpful for a lot of things. I know it's fun. You guys know I love chatting with ChatGPT, but I'm alarmed already at how often I will see a Facebook friend, someone else on social media, post a video or a picture, and it's not real, but they're just so excited, or they're just amazed, or they're dumbfounded because they didn't know that existed, or, oh, look, I just discovered this amazing creature, or whatever. It's not real. So when I see something that I've never seen before, or learn about something that I've never heard of before, my tendency typically is to do a little research and just say, you know, where does this happen, or where does this creature live? And if you just do that much, then you'll come across the evidence that it's not real. So I think it was like a spider. Some Facebook friend of mine was posting videos of this spider that supposedly opens up this thing on its back that looks like a flower. And in the video, it looks totally real. What was it called? And I've had to say something to that friend before when she's posted something that's not real. That's why it's so amazing. That's why you've never seen it before, because it's not real. And again, I've pointed that out to her before by sharing like a link to an article or something about that, whatever the thing was before that she shared. It was before the spider. I didn't even say anything about the spider then, because I thought, some people, they don't want to learn, they don't want to know, and they don't want to think for themselves. I know that really sounds harsh, but that's what it comes down to. And I know you guys know I'm somewhat of a conspiracy theorist. That's what somebody that's creating all this stuff and getting a kick out of watching everybody share it thinking it's real, that's the point. They want to condition us to be so accepting and gullible so that they can spin even bigger, more elaborate tales and create even more fantastical, alarming things, because that makes us more easily controllable. You can do with that what you will. That's my take on it. That's my opinion. But I have researched enough to think that that's not far from the truth, if it's not the truth completely. So just be wary of that, guys. Do a little thinking. Don't accept, and this is related to everything. I'm not just talking about videos where it looks like this new creature or undiscovered thing. I'm talking about the stuff you see in the news, reports that you find, shared, or I think it's probably safe to say that at least 75% of it is not legit. There'll be little elements of it that are true. That's one of the most effective ways to make it work, is to have at least one thing in it that is known. It's been around. Everybody, can see it for themselves. But then to play with that and add elements that are not legit. And at some point then, this big illegitimate thing is shared as if it's real, and it causes people to react. It causes people to buy all the toilet paper on the shelves at the grocery store, or it causes people to go wait in line at the gas station because they think we're not going to have any more gas. That's something else too that I finally saw a post about, or read an article about, that I think most of my life I was led to believe, and it was supposed to be common knowledge, that what we use for gasoline comes from fossil fuels, like ancient creatures that have died and left fossils, and as those break down, they produce oil and gas, and at some point those were going to run out. And someone tried to make everyone believe that back in the 70s. I still remember very vividly waiting in line at the gas station to fill up the tank. This was probably, again, very early 70s. And I'm not saying you're just at the gas station waiting for your turn to get to the pump. I'm saying we were in line like 4 blocks away from the gas station, waiting to get to the gas station to fill up the tank, because everyone was convinced we were about to run out of fossil fuels and gasoline. And the whole push for electric cars, initially, that was based in large part on wanting to perpetuate that myth that it's from fossil fuels. I'm sure fossil fuels contribute. Anything that's in and on the earth, I'm sure, contributes to the breakdown and metamorphosis of whatever elements are then converted into oil and gas, the things that we use to fuel machines and vehicles. But it's not just that. And I still say there are going to be some other big announcements and big things come out that will hopefully open some more eyes that just because it's what you've always heard or what you've always been taught or what you've always believed, it doesn't mean it was true. How sad is that? Anyway, not a whole lot you can do about it except be aware and don't contribute to the spreading of false information or incendiary, unfactual facts. I saw a meme that said, I don't think I have it on my computer, but the meme was, oh, ooh, I have an idea. Oh, so it starts out by saying, oh, there's fact checkers? Like there's people that check to see if something's really factual? Well, I have an idea. Let's have like a TV show where there's people on it that actually just give us the facts. We could call it the news. Don't underestimate the power of money. So how much time, can you see how much time is left on the oven? It's so nice and quiet today. 1 minute left on the oven. I felt like it was probably about time, so we're gonna get the phone, put back on the whatchamacallit here and try to get logged on again. Oh, I don't remember which way. Okay, I had it going this way. Let's see if that link is still there. Oh, let's see. Where's the history? Huh, it didn't save that one. There, I think it's right there. Here we go. It's hard to do this when it's still on the... Okay. Can you turn off that timer, please? Join room with camera. I can't do this while it's on the... Okay, start. I don't know if it's going to be the same link to put it here or not, but here we go to that other screen now. I don't know if you can still hear me. No. I mean, you can take it out when I get over there. Okay. Is that right? Can you hear me? You've got to give this a minute to stop lagging. And then let me know if you can hear me. We don't have feedback here. What's that about? Can you hear me over there? Is it showing this camera yet? But can you hear it? Okay, I hear it now. Okay, so here we go.
Off we go to the kitchen. That's still loose. Wow. There it is. Nice and bubbly. It smells heavenly. That's going to need a minute to cool for sure before we break into it. I guess I didn't even need to have the phone on to do this part. All I was doing was... I'm going to let it sit. While the oven cools down. I'll go back over here. Of course,
All I've had all day today was a little bit of some Cheetos. Oh, that's not what I want to do. How did I do that? So I'm going to leave this running and you tell me if there's still an echo. Oh, actually, I want to see if I can get this on the screen at the same time. I need to figure out how to get this on the screen at the same time. Because I think y'all may remember. Oh, I may just need to make this smaller. Okay, so let's make this smaller. Oops. Make this smaller. And then move this up. Sure enough, look. I want this to kind of be the same size. Oh, wait, where is it? Oh, I didn't do that right, did I? I don't know what I just made smaller. I must have made the background smaller. Yeah, I made the background smaller. But hang on, I need to try and get this to be the same size. Huh. Okay, that's weird. I don't know if that's the same size or not, but let's go down to the background now because I need that to be big like it was before. The behind the scenes, y'all are getting the behind the scenes of live streaming. Oh, it seems like I want it over here. Oh, we can look at Yancy. Y'all, we can look at Yancy now.
Hey girls, can you say hi? Say hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Except I took the little gravel out. That's my girl. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. I don't know that. There she is, her UV.
So now I could have that right here. I don't know why I would want to have it right there, but we can have two angles. Oh, that's weird. I almost feel like a professional podcaster now. Okay, so I don't guess I need to leave that right there. So let me put this back where it needs to be. It's still a little big, isn't it? Oh. Okay, is this centered? Let's center this. Okay, it was almost centered. I'm just giving that a little time to finish doing its thing, which is typically what you do when you're baking. You know, it needs to either rest for a little while or cool down before you cut into it, or kind of finish cooking in the dish you cooked it in. So that's what we're doing. It smells so good. Oh, that's what I was telling you, that I haven't had anything but some Cheetos today. Me and my healthy eating, right? Oh, I've had some coffee. Yeah, I've had a little bit of coffee. If you, oh, what is her name? It's Dr. Beach something on Facebook. She's I think she's a pediatrician. I think she may be like an emergency pediatric specialist. She's a doctor. But she did a video. I don't know that she did the video around the time I saw it, but within the last couple of days I saw a video that a 20-something-year-old man came into the emergency room. She was working, and she's a pediatric emergency specialist, but one of the other doctors or something came to her and said, you know, can you just come take a look? I think they had done like a CAT scan or an MRI or whatever, because this man had a terrible headache. Just terrible headache. And then so everyone was really worried about him because nothing they gave him, I think they gave him morphine. I think they tried everything to get rid of this guy's headache, and they couldn't get rid of his headache, and the poor guy was miserable. So she looks over the test results and stuff, and then she goes in to talk to the man. And guess she asked him some other basic questions that probably a lot of the other doctors had already asked. And then she asked him, do you drink coffee? And he said, yeah. And she said, like every day? And he said, oh yeah, probably, you know, however many cups a day. And she said, since you've been sick, since you have felt bad, have you had any coffee? And he said, no. I mean, I think his stomach was messed up. It was bad. And she said, you are having caffeine withdrawal. You know, everybody's jaw hit the floor. She went down to the cafeteria at the hospital and got a thing of coffee. The guy drank the coffee. Bingo! His headache was gone. Y'all, that's real life for those of us that are hooked on caffeine. I have had migraine level headaches before when I skip coffee or can't have my coffee, you know, by a certain point in the day, which is part of why I wish I didn't drink coffee at all. But I don't know. If it's the worst vice I have, I'm going to be okay with it. Oh, I want to. Can you hear that still? What's the music like? Can you even hear the music? I have new music for today's stream, but we got to wait now for the lag. And I just wanted to see if y'all liked the new music. I just call it cooking music. Okay, I'm turning it up a little. I'm turning it up a little. You just have to, again, there's like a 20-second delay. I mean, I'd rather, again, like I said on Friday, I'd rather there be no music than for the music to be so loud that you can't hear me. Because it really seems like my mic volume has not been loud enough lately anyway. Still no music? Is it too loud? Is it loud enough? Is it... There's sure an echo, isn't there? Oh, because I have that other phone on still. What? Okay. Yeah, it doesn't need to be real loud. It's supposed to be like a mood thing. It's supposed to just keep your brain a little bit more engaged to have some background music. But let's go cut into that that cheesecake stuff. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna move this up. Just put this right here. In place of that other thing. Oh, let's see. Let's just center it. Center this one just like I did that other one. Okay, and let's go see.
Excuse me, Cody. Excuse me, honey. You gonna help me? Again, I popped it back in the oven just to kind of finish up a little bit because it seems like it had a lot of moisture in it. But the oven is off. Seems like a big range, but I know a lot of that has to do with individual ovens and humidity. I feel like it's very fluffy. Wow. Which again, cheesecake. Back over here we go, because I'm sure I'm still going to have to let that.
That's what we need to do, is just have the phone ready to go instead of switching from scene to scene. Okay. I'm just so excited that that really did work so y'all could hear what I was doing in the kitchen. So I hope it worked for you too. Again, here we go. I think it's gonna be hot. Oh, yes, it's hot. Probably wasn't smart to stick it on the tip of my tongue. For now, we just have the doors and windows open and the fans going. That's how pleasant it is here today. I don't think I'm gonna need this anymore. So let's take that off. Because I'm afraid that's gonna make an echo. He's asking for a bite. Oh, wow. Mmm. Y'all, that is very cheesecakey. Which I think most people probably eat cheesecake cold, right? I like warm stuff. Like even, I mean, the banana pudding I've made the last however many times I've made banana pudding is meant to be cold. It has, you know, whipped cream on it and But back in the day, I made banana pudding and I liked it warm. Oh, wow. You need to eat some of this, Richard. Even Richard will like this. All those sweets. He doesn't usually get too picky about sweets. You must try this. And you see, it really didn't take very long. I didn't have everything out ready to go like I usually do. I had to go get my powdered sugar, and I didn't have my measuring cup out for the anything. I didn't have really anything out. I didn't have my bowl out to mix my cream cheese. Wow. Are you going to try it? Wow, that's really good. That is really, really good. So, I wish you could all be here right now to get a real live portion of this, because it really is good. I do think you could use monk fruit sweetener. So if you are, if you have to avoid sugar, I try to avoid sugar. If you have to avoid sugar, I'm sure you could use an alternative sweetener in it. I do not use, you know, Splenda and I can't use stevia. I know a lot of people use stevia, but stevia causes agonizing headaches for me. And I get super hooked on it. It is very unpleasant. So before I started using maple syrup to sweeten things, I was using stevia because I just really think sugar can be problematic, especially my arthritis. I've shared with y'all before, my arthritis is really bad if I've had sugar, you know, a couple days in a row. So I might have to take some ibuprofen after I eat this just to be prepared for the inflammation and the arthritis pain it might cause. I don't guess that was a lot of sugar for the size of dish, but wow. This is even better than the cinnamon peach dessert, for sure. And that was good. But this would be great if you're in charge of bringing a dessert for some kind of family gathering or event. Make this. And it's super good warm. I don't know what it's going to taste like. Once, what? Oh, Richard's having ice cream with his. He says it's good with ice cream. No, I want it just nice and warm. I did get the perfect amount, though, of sugar and cinnamon on it. So, you know, I was kind of wondering. It said to sprinkle it generously. And I was kind of wondering, what does generous mean? I tend to use a lot of it when I'm just making cinnamon toast, but I think that was a perfect amount. That's the bad thing about not working with recipes, though, and not having measurements, is that you don't always know if you can recreate it the next time you make it. I'm sure after I do it several times, then I won't have to think about it, but wow, that's good stuff. But that's all for today's Cook and Chat. Wasn't meant to be a long show. That's why I just picked one thing to show you. And I'll see you on Friday, 2 o'clock, same bat time, same bat channel. Hey, Cooking with the Munchie Mafia official. Hi, how are you? I was just about to wrap my stream up today. I just did my official taste test of the crescent roll cheesecake I made, and it is a winner. So I'll get the ingredients and instructions, all that put in the description for the video as soon as the video wraps up today. If you liked the stream, please give it a like, share it with your friends. And if you have not become part of my little YouTube family by subscribing yet, I would love for you to do that. But be safe, be happy, be well. Sending fair weather vibes your way. It's beautiful here today. I don't know how long that's going to last because we do have storms in the forecast again later this week. Thank you, cooking. If you will watch later, that means just as much to me as those of you being here live today. I just won't get to chat with you so much, but I appreciate you all. I love you all, and go watch yesterday's short. Let me know if you knew about that already. Try it. Tell me which selection you chose, and I'll see you Friday. Bye, friends.